we're going to get into the secret Heir trope, and I'm going to open up the floor straight away to the poorest demonstrations of this that you've seen. Can be TV, books, anything like that. We'll start with the poor ones. If you haven't got one, I'll go first.
Coming of age trope, you said?
The secret Heir, so the person
sorry.
humble finds out through some means they find out that they're royalty. And we're just gonna dig into that, break it down, and just to set the tone. I put during my research, one of the ones that I actually agreed with as well was Anastasia '97. That's the Disney film, of course.
I like that one.
Yeah, it's out of left field. A lot of people love the movie, but for me, like that whole process, it was kind of like Diet Cinderella in a lot of ways. Where they just didn't go all the way with it. She's not as interesting, like just the world they're in as well. So I kind of think that was poorly done. But I know a lot of people do love that movie.
Me too. I haven't seen it since I was a kid. I don't remember anything about that movie.
See, there's my point.
I've seen it recently.
Oh, come on! Are you being for real?
I have a 3-year-old, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I've definitely seen that movie recently.
You know what? Forgive me.
Pick an excuse for anything. Any movie. I've got a 3-year-old.
Yeah, true.
The one that I was going to go with, I'm not a big Star Wars person, but the new trilogy was I'm fascinated by why they thought it was a good idea to not have a plan. But what they did in the third... The Rise of Skywalker, was it?
The Rise of the Skywalker.
That one. They had this arc. The first movie, it's like, oh, who is she?
Yeah.
Who is she? The second one, she's nobody. And then the third one, oh, she's the great granddaughter or the granddaughter of whoever, of the big emperor, ugly old man guy.
Yep, Palpatine.
It was like, okay, you've done this because the fans got upset. They threw a little tantrum, and you went, okay, well now we've got to do something, but we don't want to give you the Skywalker thing, so we're going to do the other thing.
It's like the fans want Luke. That's all they care about. They don't want any of these new characters. They're not interested.
No.
It doesn't matter how, like... And again, that's Star Wars. That's a whole different conversation, so I won't derail us this early. So, ML Remy, do you have any ideas of just that off the top of your head? I know for the good ones, you'll be able to pick some out easily.
Yeah, so the one I'm not a fan of, but to be clear, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie, still do, would be The Man in the Iron Mask.
Oh, okay.
1998.
Oh, that's
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
He plays himself. He plays the twin who was captured. Well, twins in that era, you can't have two kings. One twin gets shafted, right? So in this particular case, you have Leonardo DiCaprio, this brat aristocrat. No one likes him. This guy's borderline, rapey vibes, right?
Oh.
And then here comes his Musketeers, right? So it's a Alexander Dumas original, and this is later rendition of it.
Yeah.
And what happens is that the Three Musketeers get involved, right? His most, or I would say the ones that were, I guess, loyal to King Louis the 14th.
Yeah.
And anyways, they come up with a plan to kill this arrogant brat, but not just kill him, switch him out, because they find out that the twin is actually still alive, just been imprisoned for his whole life with an iron mask. Not his whole life, but with an iron mask. So imagine that. But I'm like, here's what I don't like about it. It's Leonardo DiCaprio twice. And again, he's following the book. It's following the book, but when you watch the movie, it's just Leonardo DiCaprio twice.
The movie's quite.
If you lived in an iron mask, right, for a number of years in prison, don't know what you did, you know what I mean? The person that comes out of that iron mask, I don't believe would be nice. They would be meticulous. You know what I mean? Possibly conniving to anyone because they trust no one, right? But yeah, they'll play nice because I don't know, like, but I thought there were ways that they could have expanded on that story and made it way more dark. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I thought that in the movie as well. Like the mask looked like it hurt.
Right?
It didn't look comfortable.
Dude, imagine that. Your skin would not be that nice, I feel.
Yeah.
Iron on skin for that long over it doesn't look like it was conditioned space, by the way. I think it was open to the elements. There's rats and stuff. Like, so I feel like his skin would be very terrible.
Yeah. But so is it just the character you don't like, or is it the fact that it is like, I
don't think it was real. I don't think, I like Leonardo DiCaprio, but I don't think, if it was, imagine Shia LaBeouf playing that role. And he was the preppy guy, but then what would he do? He would go freaking Jekyll Hyde on their ass.
Yeah. He could pull
You see what I'm
off.
saying? The method acting part, put Tom Hardy when he was 22 years old in that role. Tell me what he would do. Leonardo DiCaprio did not do what I think a person who was chained and put in that situation would do as soon as they came out.
Yeah.
That's
so you're not convinced. You're not convinced by.
Not convinced.
All right, then. So let's go to good examples of using that trope.
I can keep going because I actually just read a really great. I reread a really great story that I want to share with you guys.
Yeah.
So, if you recall, I introduced a list of things that I really, a list of books and films that I really enjoyed. And on there was The Helm, Stephen Guild. And to recap really quickly, The Helm is about a colony on a distant planet sometime in the future, and they have no idea. Sorry, let me say this differently. They have an idea that they're from Earth, but it's been so long since their people have been on Earth, they know nothing about Earth. I'll say it that way. And the only tether that they have to what was Earth, what the people of Earth were, is a helm. And it's literally like a helmet where you put it on and it's an imprinter where it immediately gives you, the, I would say, intelligence of a person it was allowed to imprint from.
Okay.
So you have to select, who's your most divine person that you want to preserve, right? They used to have plenty of imprinters. They were down to one.
Yeah.
And so the father in this book, he placed it at the top of a place where it was very challenging to reach. Didn't expect anyone to reach it. And it was up there also because it needed to charge. It needed, so back then they were using like solar to charge it because it is, futuristic, but they live in their times where they're still on horses fighting with spears and swords, right? So they still have stewardships, guides, arranged marriages. It's really, it feels medieval.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way. And part of the colony is that the original settlement was imprinted, a religion that they thought would actually help and preserve the race through the hardships that they knew that they were going to endure on this planet, right? So they were like, Judaism, that, hygiene, they make him focus on reading to get to manhood, which is early, but we can modify it. That way it's more inclusive and we can, so they like added some things and they made certain things requirements and that's what set the tone for everyone. So it feels that way. But to fast forward, the father didn't anticipate his son. And his son, who's like 16 at the time, he climbs this dang mountain, which is like no one climbs this mountain. Right? You would die. But this kid's weird, right? He's one of those lives in a library, always runs from a fight kind of situation is how they describe him. But anyways, he climbs, he gets the helm, he puts it on, it imprints, he gives them the mind, body, and soul of a mature woman who knows Aikido. Aikido is very heavy in this book. Yeah, I know, it goes crazy.
I wasn't expecting that.
So now this woman's in his head, a 17-year-old's head now, but let me back it up. As soon as this happens, he goes into town kind of proud, but also kind of dead inside because he just climbed down this mountain and he's got this helmet. He walks into town and they have a big festival and his father sees him, the high count. Anyways, everyone's there. They see him and his father's furious because his father had planned another 20 years for that to soak up in the sun before he gave it to his oldest son. Because the son that took it was third down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense. Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3. Fourth down. He was the fourth son, the youngest son. Okay. And so that's the heir, right? The heir apparent. Mm-hmm. And so it was meant for his oldest brother. It ended up with the youngest brother, who ended up being the right person for this helm to be imprinted on. Not that the kids knew about it. No one knows about it except the people who actually have been imprinted on by this imprinter.
So was that the plan, though, for his eldest to become a woman?
Imprinted?
So would that have happened?
Basically.
Okay.
Basically. So in this time, there's, brooding war, right? There's a civil war ongoing because I would say the highest council, this would-be king in this time, doesn't feel respected because this dude who's not king is super smart, has a thriving kingdom, you know what I mean? And he double tithes every time. He's just like that asshole who's just like gives, and you're like, you think you're better than me? Like, I keep your lights on, bro. And then so he's all petty because his best citizens, his best, operators, vendors, merchants, they live in this town. And they openly mock it. They were like, yo, I don't live in the capital. I live over here. And so he's petty. And there's this other pettier group that does know about the imprinter.
Yeah.
It's trickled through time. But anyway, so that's the turmoil. But again, back to the heir. He ends up being perfect, but the father, knowing what's coming for him, right? Because he has the aged woman in his mind, by the way. Since, I don't know, he's had it for a while. Yeah. Over 20, maybe 30 years, I don't know. But he knows what's coming, and then he flips on his son. He went from loving father, very kind father, generous father, you know what I mean? Stern, but generous, to ruthless, didn't talk to him for 7 months straight, had each of his brothers whip him with a baboon stick, a baboon cane, but made him do the hardest things around the castle, around his estate. For example, shoveling snow, harvesting, everything that would make his body strong. Right. And over time he got quicker about avoiding the beatings because they hurt. He got stronger. And then next thing you know, he gets sent to this Aikido school and he learns Aikido. But the very first time he tries Aikido, he's a master. Because of the woman in his head.
That reminds me of
And
Matrix.
So he's putting people on his ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's putting people on their ass. And then the master, the true master, who's actually put in the time to be a master, says he knows as well, right? Because the descendant was the master of Aikido, which is why it's still preserved. And so it's the knowledge of the imprinters aren't lost. It's just dormant. But I say this, he goes through all these trials.
Yeah.
And he brings back people alive. He's given 800 men. And of the 800 men, he only loses a couple dozen, over the course of a long period of time where they're at war and they're astounded. They're people, they were like, we had no hope for you, dude. The person that they knew wasn't the person that returned because he had just became this whole new person. And I won't tell you how everything ends, but that, I really love it. That's why I've reread it 4 times now, and I thoroughly enjoy it because you weren't supposed to be the heir.
Yeah.
He was following his hobby. He loved reading. He loved knowledge, which is what made him the best heir. Because the first son, since the dad knew in his mind, right, what the son was supposed to do, not that the son knew, he trained him in different ways since birth, had a different childhood.
Yeah.
And so basically any child after that, was basically like, all right, if something happens to this kid, that kid, something happens to this kid, that kid. So when you get to the 4th son, he said, I gave you a life. I let you have a childhood. I let you play. He says, I never made you do anything your brothers had to do. Because I never thought you'd have to wear that helm. and it found him.
Yeah.
And that's why it was so powerful, because he had a life.
Yeah.
And he knew what was meant to cherish, instead of having to have done what his father told him to do, for unknown reasons. Not that he didn't, but still. So let me stop there.
And what makes that interesting as well is because it's like another example, Princess Diaries. The whole story's about her becoming the perfect person for the role, rather than just falling into it. She's perfect straight away. She doesn't have to earn it. So it literally like piggybacks off what you just said of the earning part, being essential to the trope working. It has to feel earned, or it's not gonna come off the same way.
Facts.
Yeah,
that's actually the movie that I was going to mention as well. Princess Diaries was going to be my go-to.
It's so specific as well of what we're talking about, because again,
Anne Hathaway.
Well, yeah, Anne Hathaway aside, it's like
she said, "Shut up." I remember.
but it's just that piece of what you said of him going through the trials. In his, it was a mountain. All she's doing is like she's learning elegance and like how to fill the role.
Get off the grass. I don't know if
she didn't.
It's coming back.
But see, and another one is like Moana. I'm surprised you didn't say that as well.
Yeah.
As a parent,
I try not to repeat.
No, but again, if it's relevant, we want to hear it, because what we're going to show as well is how many of these overlap, and they can be used in different ways, because it's not necessarily the trope itself, it's the traits around it. So it's like the kind of situation you put the character in that makes it trope. Because, for example, in Moana, the fact that she's the daughter isn't necessarily it's a key factor, but she still has to go on that trial.
That's nepotism, bro.
Really?
the fact that she took it, well, her and her grandmother, whoever you want to blame in that situation, the fact that she took it upon herself to set off on this voyage was because of nepotism. She thought it was her duty. There was no other little girl on that island.
But do you not respect it?
Nope,
though?
I'm going to betray my father and go all this way to find some demigod and restore whatever. No, nepotism.
But do you think that response made it interesting? Like the fact she wanted to go on the adventure, she didn't want to, follow the rules, color inside the lines, and kind of like fulfill.
If her father wasn't the chief, it would have made it better.
Okay, that's a fair argument.
Change his title. What if he was a janitor? I mean, would that make it better?
In a way, because it'd be like, why is she going on this? No one's.
Why do you feel compelled to do this, janitor's daughter?
Yeah. So that
way better. That's way more interesting, because now you got to solve that.
That literally ties into like another question I had as well, which is about what is more satisfying of the tropes. Is it the secret heir, or is it someone who's been prepped for the role and now they've got to perform? Like, where do you lean on that one in terms of just interest? If you're, infinite bookcase, any books, what would you choose out of those two?
I wouldn't say secret. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Jamie. But you said the word secret. But do you mean, or said differently, is it unassuming? Is that like you it wasn't planned?
If they begin as just the humble guy,
if they
regular,
didn't know, I guess.
Yeah, they didn't know, and then eventually it's revealed. Or would you prefer someone that's been prepared for it the whole lives, and then the inciting incident happens, and now they've got to deal with that responsibility?
It's like the difference between like The Lion King and The Princess Diaries. I guess is the difference, right?
Yeah.
Because like Anne Hathaway has no idea that she's about to become the princess.
Yeah. Perfect.
Whereas Simba has been raised from his childhood to be like, you are going to be the king, and he's like, nah, I don't want to be the king.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing.
He's resisting.
If I may throw a wrench.
Okay.
Princess Diaries, she was lied to. I don't like that. It would be better if everybody was shocked. You know what I'm saying?
Did you say shocked or shot?
Shocked. Like
Okay.
That'd be a whole different story.
I don't think Disney would have been on board with that.
I mean, but seriously, if that would have been like, it was surprising, but the mother knew who the father was. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that to me was a lie. Lie through omission, specifically. If you call that a lie. But that being said, it would, in my opinion, if everybody was like, hold on, wait, what? How do I not know that? Oh, it's because you're adopted or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, so you have no way of knowing, as opposed to someone specifically not telling you.
So you prefer it to be that completely secret, and then
has to be. Okay. That's why it's pure. Because what if the mother was secretly preparing her in the background for the eventuality? That's the kind of parent I am. I think of all eventualities and like, let me just make sure she's prepared for that.
Okay, yeah, that's a different perspective.
You know, because if her father is this, you know what I mean? So she's royalty immediately. So to me, it's like, let me keep my daughter out of the limelight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because she could be somebody someday, and we don't need that coming back to haunt her.
Yeah.
That's a subtle move, but you would do that, right?
Yeah, if you're a parent, you're going to try and protect.
If you're a parent, you're going to do that. Yes. Very subtle. So, but if the mother, is not in the picture that way, or, it's a different mother, wasn't the one who birthed her, whatever.
Yeah.
I think it would be genuine. When that person is thrown into the situation that makes them become the heir, it's genuine.
Mm-hmm.
Even the villain respects it. It was like,
the villain has to respect it.
How are you able to thwart me?
The villain has to respect it. It's like the whole King Arthur thing, Sword in the Stone, that kind of situation, where he's like, you see, that's almost a plot device. We might have to like break that down, because it's literally like, you're not worthy. Like, there's a visual representation of people being unworthy because they can't lift the stone. Thor with the hammer, same thing.
I was gonna say Thor was the other example.
But they reversed it, didn't they? Like, that was kind of interesting, wasn't it? Where he was no longer worthy. Like, everyone's expecting him to be able to just continue, like, draw the power, and that was a nice subversion of it.
Yeah.
But something else I want to kind of draw your attention to is, where did you sit on that, Jamie, in terms of, like, which do you prefer? The secret?
Which I prefer.
Yeah, or prepared your whole life for this moment kind of thing?
I don't know that I have a preference either way. It's all, to me, it depends on what the actual concept of the story is.
Yeah.
Because I'm the one thing with me, I remember when I was a story analyst, and I said to my boss, I was like, if anybody comes in with a Lord of the Rings type hard fantasy story, I can't do it, because I can't follow it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have the intelligence to keep up with it. So a lot of these stories tend to be very kind of Game of Thronesy.
Yeah, I was going to get to that as well, yeah.
Battle about the throne things, and those things I'm terrible with. So to me, it's all about whatever the premise of the movie is. I find between the two of them, I tend to lean more towards they know they're going to be the heir and they have to work it out. And I had an example of a story like that, which I don't think you're going to be expecting me to mention here, because it's not like The Princess Diaries or any of these that we're talking about. But Succession, the TV show, is all about that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about, like, all the kids know one of them is going to get it.
Yeah.
They have to learn to be it. And of course, they are all completely unsuitable for power, as anybody is.
Yeah,
exactly. That's an interesting one.
If I may one, because I'm so glad you brought up Succession. It's one of my favorite shows. I love that cutthroatness, and so I want to, if we may, if we have time, I'd like to unpack that, Jamie. I want you to elaborate on what you like about it, because I want to expand on that show. Really want to highlight it. And then also, I want to add to the mix. Is it called Industry?
Yeah.
Dude, love that series too. And I feel like that plays into it, because I think there are multiple heirs in there. And this is how I see it. I think the initial cast, the young kids, I think they're all different types of heirs from their own families, if that makes sense. And they're surviving, right? And so you're seeing how they survive, and they're weeding themselves out, and the alpha is rising. You know what I'm saying? And season 2 is like, you got this short female alpha that has risen. She's taboo though. She's like, she doesn't play by the rules. She plays differently, and I love that, because she stuck it to them and still suffered the consequences and still came back fighting. She suffered, she had to get over her own thing. And I love that story. I love the protagonist in the story. I don't know if whatever you want to call it, but I wanted to bring that up too, and just kind of elaborate, because I think there's nepotism, there's the heir, there's there's decisions made about their future that you're like, whoa, you didn't see that? 'Cause I don't know how caught up you guys are, but I'm like, yo, I knew you'd make that decision. Things like that.
So did you find it? Okay,
I'm about 3 episodes into Industry, I think.
And are you enjoying it so far?
I think it's a good show. I don't know what I expected it to be. But
That's probably why, yeah.
It's a lot more aggressive than maybe I expected it was going to be. They're a lot more brutal on one another in terms of trying to get ahead and stuff, which I very much, to answer your question about what I liked about Succession, it's very much of that. I like the cutthroat, like chess playing.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks they're 4 steps ahead of somebody else, and then they're actually playing a whole other game that they're not prepared for.
Yeah,
I love all of that. It's like the best kind of writing when you can make me completely lose track of who I'm supposed to be rooting for at any one time, and then just watching it all collapse under them. It's so satisfying. It's such a great show.
Dude, the character development. Let's talk about that for a second, man. It's an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
You know, Siobhan, you love to hate her. Oh my gosh. Even I would say her husband, Tom Wamsgans. But like, there's moments where you're just laughing because this dude's hilarious.
Yeah.
The actor who plays that character is hilarious, and you're just, the way he is bullying someone is hilarious, and you're not supposed to laugh at that. Bullying is not okay.
No.
But like that type of writing,
it's capturing the corporate culture.
Come on. And and the culture. That's another thing. If you can relate to even a single moment in there, they won. Yeah.
And what I like about Tom as well, to piggyback on that, because it is a show that is all about the heirs and the succession. It's all about that. What I like about the character of Tom, whereas like if you think of Cousin Greg, he's just like a loser. He's just there. He's just happy to be there. Tom is like the wannabe nepotism kid. He's like, I'm never good at it. I just want to be in it. Like, if I'm in the family, I won. And that's all that he cares about. So he will be emasculated and humiliated and all these things repeatedly. And he's just like, yeah, I love him. I love him. It's like, oh my God.
There's a scene where Greg is like offered by his grandfather a substantial amount of money to walk away from that side of the family. Just cut him off cold.
Yeah.
And I'm like, done. You're telling me, grandfather, you're telling me that these people are not good for me, and you're willing to pay me this life-changing amount of money to walk away from these people? I have no need to go over there ever again, sir. I will avoid the state of New York. I will cut it off. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That kind of conversation. It's like everyone's like, dude, what do you do? Because what does his cousins do? That's it? That's a bad deal, bro. Like, wait, what? Dude, I come from nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I come from nothing.
So it makes you ask the question to yourself, doesn't it? Like, in that situation, what am I actually going to do?
But your cousins are telling you, it's like, dude, your grandfather doesn't love you that much. Like, he's underselling it, right? Like, you have no idea how much money you can make with us versus taking this offer and trying yourself. And it makes you think, and it's like, damn, if I go with them, will I be elevated? You know what I'm saying?
That's
like, because he knows, he sees it. He's just like, they're playing at a whole different game. And if I can even learn a little bit, I'll be better off. And, eventually maybe I will detach, but if I stick it out a little longer, they're going to sharpen me up quicker than doing anything alone.
That's what you say. It's that like gambling addiction that they have where they're like, just one more. If I can just get in, if I can just roll the dice one more time, I'm going to be like on top, and it just never works.
It plays into the greed.
Walk away.
Everyone's got that thing where it's like, if I do this, it's going to like risk versus reward, that whole thing.
Yeah.
Like I'll risk it all just for like that chance. Like it's not in my favor, but
risk it for the biscuit.
We like seeing that as an audience as well. Just like someone willing to put it all on the line, doesn't go their way, destroys them.
Because as you say, like we don't know what we would do in that situation. We like to sit there and be like, I wouldn't be Cousin Greg. Then you think,
exactly. and we're kind of like,
would I fall for that?
Yeah, we're like armchair,
Possibly.
like with the armchair
Well,
audience.
Think about it like this: we all have those family members that your immediate family is like, stay away from them. You're like, yeah, but I'm kind of cool with this dude. Like, me and him, we good. You know, it's like I get that his grandfather and you got problems, but like that was a long time ago. Me and him, cool. And your grandfather was like, "What did I tell you? Cut the whole family off."
When you put it
What
like
would you
that,
do?
that's hilarious.
You see what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like, damn, man, we're supposed to go. We got football practice. Like,
Okay, so
I don't know.
I've got another question on the same topic. Do you think the trope itself kind of like celebrates nepotism in some ways?
I think it depends on the execution of it. Because you look at Succession, it does not celebrate nepotism in any way. If anything, it says it's a terrible, terrible idea and should not happen.
Fair.
And then you look at something like The Lion King or The Princess Diaries or whatever, and you think, well, those stories suggest that it's not what's the Spider-Man thing? Like, it's not the power, it's the
Great power,
person wielding
responsibility.
You know. But I think it depends. I don't think it has to glorify it, is what I would say.
Yeah.
I don't know what Remy's perspective on that is.
I agree with it's the circumstances. Like it's the context matters, right?
True.
Because it's not like we outright hate the idea of an heir. That's not what we're saying.
Fair. Yeah, fair to say.
And if I may, I want to throw in another kind of curveball, if you will. I want to talk about the movie Parasite, 2019.
Oh, yeah.
Bong Joon-ho directed this one. Black comedy, co-written by Han Jin-won. And I might be saying this all wrong, but I want to bring it up because there's privilege, there's class, there's the haves and the have-nots, right? As far as the heirs, if I were to connect it, it's just their children. It's these parents trying to give their children a better life, and that's everyone's life, right? You would hope. And in this situation, that's exactly what it is. It's two households that merge. You got the household that have, and then the household that does not. And the way they merge is by services, acts, goods, services. And that's how they infiltrate the good, right? They have not. So they come in through their services. They have so many skill sets.
Yeah.
Each kid, like there's two kids, two parents, right? And these two kids on the have-not side, they have these skill sets that are like, wait, what? But they're con artists. They're like a Swiss Army knife. They could, on a dime, become whoever they need to be to get out of a situation, and that's admirable. They're chameleons. You know, it's terrifying almost. It's like, wait, whoa, where's my watch? Like, did he get my wallet too?
Yeah.
He just gave me a dap. Like, who touched me?
Yeah.
You know, that kind of terrifying. But, you know, they infiltrate by becoming, you know, hey, I'm a tutor, whatever. And, hey, I know this. I know, you know, they start to sabotage the in-house help that's already there. And they're like, we need to put our own people in here.
Yeah.
And the idea is that they needed to come up. And they're, you know, services. They were willing to work for it. That's the crazy thing. But as they were working for it, this wholesome, you think, family, this, you know, good to do family, they're criticizing these people. And like, you know, like the father has a smell. You know what I mean? The chauffeur has the smell. And like they're talking to the chauffeur's child, who they don't know is the chauffeur's child, talking about the chauffeur. And you're like, just bearing it. You're like, yep, he does stink. You know what I mean? Like, you see what I'm saying? It's like that type of writing. But here's where I'm a twisted back though, where it goes dark. It's the measures they're willing to take to really, and you know what? You guys don't deserve this life. Now we're just gonna take it from you because y'all are very comfortable, and my whole family's in this house right now. Y'all don't stand a chance because y'all are not from the grind.
Yeah.
Y'all are comfortable fat cows. Y'all got way too comfortable, And by that, they started, doing their own thing in this house. It became their house. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then both families lost. So I would say full circle moment. The heirs, both sides lost heirs in that sense, because they were trying to, one tried to. I don't know how to summarize it. Jamie, you mentioned you watched it. How did I do?
Yeah, I think you did a good job. Because what I was going to say to it was, I think we're going to see a lot more stories about this in the next few years. Really? I fully expect. I think there's going to be a lot of like nepotism type stories that are going to come through. A lot of class warfare things, because if you read the room of the world at the minute, particularly in terms of like what Hollywood is doing, you think of the Hollywood stars that are coming up now, and they're all kids of whoever.
Yeah.
Directors now are like children of other directors and everything, and it's becoming much more insular. I think you're going to see a lot of filmmakers start to kind of push back against that.
Are you seeing that in a lot of scripts as well now, or is it just like...
No, this is purely me guessing based on...
It seems quite accurate, to be honest.
Succession was a hit. Saltburn, as Remy just said, was a hit. All these movies that are really skewering the upper classes and becoming increasingly violent.
Well, we had Squid Game
as well.
Squid Game as
well. As the situation gets worse, I think you're going to see more of that. But I think because of Hollywood and because of filmmakers trying to break in and struggling, while Spielberg's fourth daughter gets, 70 million to do her first movie, I think you're going to see a lot of filmmakers that are like, I'm going to go after this.
Yeah.
I'm going to kind of do something about this.
I think so interesting.
That's my prediction. We'll see if that's true or not.
I actually think you're right, though. It makes so much sense. Because, like you said, it's colouring everything that's going on right now. Just in terms of society as a whole. Everyone's it's like, because the gap's getting bigger, it's becoming more clear. So you're right.
And I would say also, from a comedy perspective, because I tend to write comedy, the Nepo babies, as we call them, do not help themselves in any way or form. You criticize them and they start saying, you're erasing us from history. You're erasing our existence. And you think, no. Yeah. Just say you didn't have to be a waiter. That's all we want you to say.
It takes me back to, Kelly Osbourne and her comments about, after the deportations, who's going to clean my toilet? She said that on TV, and she thought that was a smart thing to say.
Yeah.
And that didn't go down very well. But yeah, it's exactly what you're saying.
Ignorance.
Yeah,
they're so desperate to claim ownership of their story, which is fair enough. Everybody has the right to do that. But there are some, I think Jack Quaid did it, where he said, my parents are movie stars. He's like, I had advantages that other people did. And the internet went, yeah, good for you. And then the others who are like, no, I had to work very hard and I had to audition. Say, well, you were on sets from the age of 3. Your uncle, your godfather is the producer of a multi-million-dollar making movie. So I think, it's fine. So I think my prediction is that I think you're going to see more of that.
That's quite accurate. And now you've given me an idea. We need to add that in as a section at the end of the episodes, predictions for the trope going forward. So that's something I think we should bring in as well.
Not a bad idea. There was another movie that came to mind when Remy was talking about industry and Succession. The Godfather is another story of an heir being groomed to take over a very difficult business, whether he wants to or not.
Yeah.
So I think I think we tend to think of heirs as royalty.
Yeah, you naturally go towards that.
You just go to it. Because that was my first thought when I did it. I was like, Princess Bride and all these things.
yeah.
There's a lot. There's a lot more interesting stories out there with this.
The Godfather, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And that is how you decided the thing. Are you both Godfather fans, by the way?
You're going to be ashamed of me. I've only seen the first one. And it's because, in my defense, I thought the first one was so perfect.
Okay.
I kind of don't want to see the others because I don't want to...
You know what?
Everybody keeps saying, obviously, number 2, best movie ever, it's better than the first one, whatever. But now, I've heard that from so many people. I'm like...
Expectations.
I'm really scared that I'm going to go into it and be like, oh, that
and just ruin the whole thing.
Yeah, and people keep saying, like, it's not going to happen. It's like, just watch it, you'll really like it.
No, that was a really good answer. I was like, wait, what like valid answer could you give right now? And you pick the most valid answer. The first one is actually a great film, and it is that thing of you're aware that this guy's being groomed for the role. It's not a secret. Yeah. Do you feel like when it's a secret, it takes anything away from the character, or like maybe their relatability or something else? How do you feel about that?
I think it depends entirely on when that reveal comes and how it comes.
Interesting.
I think if you go through the whole movie and they don't know, number one, they might not have the agency to do anything interesting with it, because that might be the whole story. Or if it comes at the end, it might be like I said about Star Wars. It might just be a very last minute, oh, look how interesting they are. Yeah. And it's like, well, that's not helpful now, because it's the end of the movie. Like, it's all gone now.
So how did you guys feel about Jon Snow then, and his, in the Game of Thrones, obviously, later seasons, it became clear that he was kind of this figure, this, again, multiple tropes. The prophecy was in there, and the secret heir as well. It turns out he's the rightful heir to the throne. But it came very late in the story.
I thought it was interesting because I didn't see it. So it sounds great. I think I watched like 8 episodes and I was like, I can't. It's not my thing.
Oh, okay. But even with that, it came again. The show, the book, completely different. In the show, this reveal becomes in the last couple seasons. They hint at it for a while. John has no idea of what's happening, so it's more of a secret heir situation. But he's going through all these trials in the meantime as well, and he's not able to get the benefits of his lineage because he doesn't know. So that they played on it that way, whereas they're contrasting the character by what he's missing out on. Like he should be the rightful king of this, control over this, dragons, all that other stuff. But because he's not aware himself and no one's kind of told him, like he's unaware, and they use that as well as something to just like drive the plot. A lot of identity politics, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's a decent story, I would say. And how
so to answer your question in reverse, Jon Snow moment, thought it was wasted. It's powerful, wasted moment. It's too far along. Shouldn't have did it. Told you should have cut it off in 5 seasons. Second, Godfather. Can't rightfully tell you I've seen it all. I know I've seen one, but couldn't remember it. Honestly, don't care about it. And here's how I feel about it.
That's good. That's a strong opinion.
I'm sincerely probably just waiting for the modern day version, if you will, to be done. And I hate to say that and sound like a hypocrite, because I don't want like the rendition. And honestly, that's something where people were like, no, don't even do it. Don't do that. But I couldn't relate to it. And it's not because I'm not Sicilian. Okay. I just like couldn't relate to Scorsese, if you feel me. Okay. Like I need a Guy Ritchie, if that makes sense.
More direct.
And so I'm just trying to switch up. Yeah, I mean, I want the story, but give me a different director. Is that okay?
Yeah,
that's the question. Question mark. Can we change up a little bit? So here and there. Give me the version that I think it deserves, and I think it's just time for a new edition. I don't say that lightly.
Yeah.
So I wanted to answer that question too, and then lastly, I wanted to throw out there something that you all should check out too. It's called The Heir Apparent, Largo Winch. If you haven't heard that, check it out. 2008. And I bring it up because what I like about it is that it is a secret adoptive son who comes into his billionaire heir. Now he knows he's wealthy. His father made sure he was trained in all the ways, multiple languages, knows how to defend himself. He's basically a spy, right? Trained his kid to be a spy from day one, a chameleon. And he's allowed him to be who he is, finds him in a prison in some South American jungle because he chooses to be there, by the way. That kind of kid, right? Off the beaten path. He's so damn rich, he wants to go to prison. And so you take that, and he knows, right? But he's the heir.
Yeah.
But then you find out that there may be another heir, and that there actually was supposed to be another heir, and that his father, wise man he is, he hedges his bets. He says, "You're damn right. There was 2 of you. You know what I mean? He's just like, what if one of you died?
That's interesting.
And I'm like,
that's an interesting
damn.
take.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that kind of thing. So to me, I like the secretness too. Don't get me wrong. I just think how it's executed plays a big part in it. And especially when you come like billionaires, they can do whatever they want. You were born into that life. You have no idea what they were doing before you got there.
Yeah, true.
That's how I see it. It's like that's the easiest way to hide stuff. It's just because I did it before you were born.
So do you all right, so on that point, do you think that'd make an interesting grounds for a story, something that starts again like when they don't know what the legacy came from? They're just like now they're the steward of all the capital or the assets or whatever, but they don't know how it got to that point. I think that could be quite interesting if it's done a certain way.
I have an idea for a story that is very similar to that. And I don't want to tell you, and I also kind of want to tell you because you've got so close to what it is.
Oh, man.
I was like, okay, yeah.
We can talk about it off camera.
Yeah. I find that kind of thing really interesting to see people discovering the legacy of their parents or whatever that is. Because it's something that you have no control over. But it is going to define you, whether you want it to or not. And trying to, again, it's that succession thing. It's like the brother of Logan trying to distance himself from a family that he is always going to be tied to.
Yeah.
And there is just no way that you can ever escape it. So you have to kind of make your peace with it or, be written out of the will, as it were. Those are kind of your two choices. I find that interesting.
All right, so what are your plans for this? Is that is it like a screenplay or is it more of a novel situation? Where are you taking it?
I don't know. I think it's bigger than one movie.
Okay.
I thought it could be like a TV thing.
Yeah.
I think it has that kind of legs to it, but it could be a series of books. I don't know because I think of it more as a satire.
Oh, really?
I think of it as a satire of the billionaires that are running our world now. For lack of a... I'll tell you off camera and then it will make more sense because I don't know how to describe it otherwise. I'd be so vague.
No, that's the best way. And then you get them opining on it and you're like, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. That's the plan.
Okay, so I've got another question for you guys. What is the most cliche proof you've seen of a bloodline? My mind goes to the broken piece of jewelry that fits in with this one, and they have to put the two pieces.
Cruella de Vil.
That kind of thing.
Go straight there. It was an amazing movie.
That kind of
amazing. I thought Emma Stone.
Along those lines.
Great job.
What do you guys think
about that? I like that
movie
too. I thought that was a good movie.
Proof of bloodline.
You said, are you asking about the proof of bloodline?
Yeah, like
or
which ones have you
concept?
seen that are kind of like cliche? Like you got the locket, of course. That's a common one that we see. But are there any others that stand out to you, like as proof of bloodline? Might be a birthmark or something like that all the family has. Any of those other?
Is cliche a negative connotation?
Yes. In short,
I have to clarify.
Something where you see it and you roll your eyes like,
you cringe.
Yeah.
I can't think. I think if I saw like the locket thing now, then I probably would cringe a little bit.
Yeah.
Because my first instinct was when they do the hand in the handprint thing, and that's one that I would think. Because I think like the Lion King did a nice little twist on that with paw and the bigger paw. I was like, okay, I can accept that.
Yeah,
creative. I can accept it.
That was classic.
What about the the fog on the window and it had your name on it the whole time or some shit?
That's
the whole message was to you, and you could have solved the problem if you just blew a little fog on this window.
That's interesting. Harry Potter fixed that though, didn't it? With like the multiple different keys to the story. Yeah. They didn't necessarily hinge it on one. He had to find multiple items and go through diaries and all kinds of stuff.
You imagine a story where you have the son, the king has a son and a daughter, and the king has died, and the son finds the will in his dad's study.
Yeah.
And it's his name's Joe and his sister's name's Joanna, and all he sees is J-O. Oh. He's like, I've got to kill my sister, and he goes off and does that, and he comes back, and there's just like a piece of paper on the top that just covered the rest of the maybe it's his name.
And it was his anyway. That's
it's
tragic.
His name anyway. All of this is completely pointless.
That's tragic.
The Shakespeare thing.
I wouldn't like that. Wait,
I really like it.
what does that remind me of? It kind of reminds me of
Shakespeare.
Yeah.
It is very Shakespeare. Yeah.
Yeah, Romeo and Juliet maybe
Macbeth,
takes the poison, thinks
Yeah.
she's dead.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, so knowing more context behind your thoughts about cliches, I think it goes back to execution. Dude, I think it's not the article, it's not the inanimate object. I don't think anyone, if it's done well, you don't really care. It was a chain, a necklace,
That's fair. Yeah,
amulet, whatever, you know?
There's always a new way to do it. That's the
Yeah.
key to it. As long as you're not just doing the same thing the exact same way as it's been done forever, you can do anything.
Like the amulet was actually a tattoo, and now you can actually pull it off, and now it's a real amulet. You know, you'd be like, oh, I kind of like that. That was a pretty badass tattoo, but it's not a tattoo. You know, like it's all types of ways.
Or like the painting of the family, the descendants.
Yeah.
They start, they start
Yeah.
moving and coming to
That's
life
right.
and that kind of stuff. Like, there is a lot of ways of doing it. USB stick maybe with the wealth is all on there in some way.
I like clever. I choose clever anyway because if you can, I think the best told secret is the one that's right there in front of your face. It's been there in front of your face the whole time, and only the heir, as soon as they walked into that room, knew what it meant.
Yeah.
To me, that is powerful because like hundreds of people have passed this thing. But this one heir was able to, I hate to say it this way, just they were able to read the phrase and they were like, it means this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like lost language kind of thing, forgotten language.
No, more so knowledge. Knowledge is power. And for some reason, this person had that knowledge because they had to have earned it from some capacity, whether they read it or whether they had to physically earn it.
Yeah.
And so when they found themselves at the hurdle, the crossroad, right?
Yeah.
It was the easiest thing for them to do because they've been doing it for so long. That's the heir, right? It's like, it was so natural, which to me is authentic.
Yeah, and see, that's why I was asking which ones you guys preferred, because you do get the ones where they're training for it. They know they're going to have to like stop the big threat or whatever from coming back to life, and that's their family's role, and now it's their turn to defend, like whatever. But I like that when they're training towards it, like they're trying to fill the role. I don't really like when it comes out of nowhere. For me, a lot of the time, it kind of robs the relatability from the character.
Yeah. I think at best, if you're going to do that, you have to do it almost immediately.
Yeah.
The longer that you wait, the worse it's going to get. Like, it's impossible to do that. And like, that's why I think The Princess Diaries does it as best as I think you can do it. Of just getting it out really, like, within 10 minutes or whatever, so you can just get over that and try and get on with the rest of it.
But see, the other way I would twist it is, I would like if the protagonist instantly rejects it straight away. You're like, no thanks. And they just carry on with their life. Someone tells them...
What would that movie be? Oh, you're going to be the king. Nah.
Don't fancy it. Sorry.
That movie exists.
Go on.
That movie exists. It actually in two different ways. The one, since we used the Sword in the Stone metaphor, the Guy Ritchie, the latest version that he did, he was just like, he was not interested. That he didn't know anything about this sword and why, what he was or who he was. He was just trying to get back to his brothel, like straight up. He's got business to take care of in the morning. You see what I'm saying? He's just
for a
like,
second there, I was like, this doesn't sound like a Guy Ritchie movie.
And then you heard brothel.
I was like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called King Arthur.
Okay.
Check it out.
I need
Guy
to see
Ritchie.
that.
But then the second one would be sorry. Yeah, keep going. Keep going without me.
Well, it was my main point with that was I've not seen that where they instantly reject the responsibility and just carry on with their lives.
They go back to work in a grocery store.
Yeah, like
for the rest of the movie.
Oh, Shang-Chi.
Okay.
Shang-Chi.
Oh, yeah,
I like that film.
Okay.
Completely. He's just like, I'd rather valet cars than kill people.
Yeah, he does do that. Yeah, that's
Easy.
True.
Easy.
True.
But do you think that... My problem with that is it's...
Nah, come on, try it. I'm
just saying... Hold on, I'm just saying, like, the Marvel formula came through a lot. I like the film.
You're going to blame Marvel?
You have to.
I do think
Like, not
I
Marvel,
will
Disney.
make. I am insistent that Black Panther and Shang-Chi are basically the same movie. Like
Come
they
on,
take the
that's what I'm saying.
exact same beats, more or less. It is this, even down to the point of they journey into this magical world, you know, this incredible hidden place. It's all hidden in the trees or the magic dome, and then it's all this incredible place with the technology and the old culture and the new culture. And it's all come together, and they have to join together to fight off the big monster thing. I'm like, it's the same. It's the same story.
Like, fellas, we got to keep it real.
Yeah,
Shang-Chi, we like the effects, we like the action, we like the martial arts.
Great movies.
Yeah, let's not pretend it's a great story. I can't let you two sit up here and do that.
Well, all right, so hear me out on that, because we were talking about people who give up what they had because they're like, not worth it. Not worth it to keep it. Is that it? That's every Western. That's every Western who's an old gunslinger. Like, I'm not fighting today. Don't want to fight ever again. I've lived through so many knife fights, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a boxer's story. Like, I would just say people who've lived through things don't want to live through that again.
So they continue to be a wanderer, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and now they're trying to actually guide people who they see going towards that side. Don't do it.
Those are the coolest characters, though. Like the wanderers. Like, they don't need anything from the world. They just carry on with their journey. Like you said with the westerns, they offered the sheriff's badge, and they're like, "No, I don't want that. I'm more free than like anyone here." And then they just ride up into the sunset. To me, that's always fire.
Yeah, I mean, because you've earned the audience. You've shown that you could do it through action, that you could do the job that they need, and you only did it because it was needed at that time, and you were passing through. To me, that is the unlikely Heir story in another way, right? It was unlikely hero, right? Wrong place, right time, whatever you want to call it. But there's so many tropes that go into I'm just passing through. Yes, you needed me. Yes, I stepped up. No, I won't stay. No, I won't marry your daughter. Goodbye. Maybe I'll see you in season 2.
That's kind of like, Shanghai Noon was kind of like that a little bit. But that's a comedy, obviously. Owen Wilson, Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
And then he's just kind of stumbling his way through the Native American society, and then he ends up married, he gets a wife. And then something came through.
I don't want to interrupt you, though.
No, I was just talking about Shanghai Noon. It's a great film.
Shanghai Noon and Nights. The Heir. We can go back to Holes again.
Oh my god.
Stanley Yelnats finding the buried box with his name on it. Y'all recall that?
With his name.
The box of treasure. So if you recall, Holes, you take a bad boy, you put him in the middle of the desert, you make him dig a hole all day, turns him into a good boy. And so now you got Stanley Yelnats, played by Shia LaBeouf in the Disney film.
Yeah.
And as he's trying, he escapes, he tries to come back, he finds this, and buried out there, he finds a box and it has his name on it. Now, how does this box that's been buried way longer than he's been alive have his name on it? It's because he's Stanley Yelnats the fourth. Or I can't remember which number he is, but I think he's Stanley Yelnats the fourth. And so it was actually his great grandfather, and he was the one that found it. Yeah. In the middle of a desert.
But see, do you like that though? Like, do you like that it just happens to be him digging the hole on the day and
I like it the way they execute it.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair
So
enough.
the way they execute it, because there's another, I would say, there's 2 different curses going concurrently.
Yeah.
And it was all tied back to this box too, and him having to be there at the right time, to be, present. But, what I do like about the execution of this one was that, his family was going to suffer until he was there.
Oh, I like that. So there's a penalty for it.
Yeah. And you see that up front, and like that was the reason why he was there. Mm-hmm. That was a prison for children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't a great place. And so that's what I loved about it. It's like, damn it, like, and this is rock bottom. Literally, this is rock bottom for me. Like, I'm a good kid. I'm actually a good kid. But like, how the hell? Because my family's cursed. That sucks. But you needed to right the wrong that someone in your family overlooked.
Yeah.
I like that. And they tied back. They're telling two stories concurrently and why you have to suffer the consequences, or why you've been suffering the consequences, and why you have to right the wrong. That's consequences.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about that. Anything where you have to struggle and get through it, and then there is an opportunity for a reward that you didn't expect at all, you got me.
Yeah, you know what? I like how you explained that with the execution, because it could have just fallen into the trope we spoke about with the MacGuffin, and it just happens to be the right place, right time, and it doesn't really pay off. But yeah, the way you've explained it there, that is actually how it should be executed, because it's not a nice circumstance that he's even finding out that he is the heir. He doesn't understand why his name's there immediately. So there's still that bit of the curiosity gap for the audience. And I think that's one of the themes that we keep coming back to. It has to feel earned. They have to go through things. There has to be a bit of trauma in there.
Yeah.
Like, we can't get, again, it's tension at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, how can you introduce more tension? How much can this character
take?
The key
is, you can like your characters, but you still have to punish them. That's like kind of the key. Like, they have to have consequences for everything that they do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there is no satisfaction in the end when they.
But do you ever feel like you don't want to do that to one of your characters?
All the time. Every time. I read my first draft and I'm like, wow, they got it easy. So, like, they really got it easy in this thing. And I have to go through and be like, how can I make this harder on them? How can I make this whatever. And it's the thing that I criticize myself more than anything. Because once I start writing them and I find their voice, I have so much fun with it. I'm like, I really don't want to leave them. And I get really upset about it. So I have to remind myself constantly about that.
No, that is. How do you deal with that as well, ML Remy? Not wanting to
remind me of the question.
Not wanting to put that much pressure on the character. Do you ever have those moments where you're like, I don't necessarily. But you like them
too much.
Yeah, you don't want to push them too much.
You know what? I'm not yet. I don't think I'm there in my writing career where I'm unnecessarily biased. Right now, I'm still in the necessity side of writing. I'm writing this angst because it needs to push the story forward. I hope I don't get to a point to where I have to intentionally beef up an area, but I know, hey, if the price is right, let me see what I can do. So you know what I mean?
You're a mercenary.
The struggle that I have is because I write comedy, I inherently get to a point where I'm like, they're so fun. And I'm having such a good time with them. And that's the problem for me. If I was writing a story where, like, wow, they're all terrible people, they're horrible people, I'd be like, let's just screw them up. Like, constantly. Let's just really, like, put them through hell. But because I like them so early, I'm like, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to really, like...
You don't want to kick your own castle over, basically.
Yeah. And then when you read it back, you're like, yeah, you should have done that. You should have done that.
Well, and the caveat is you don't want to do anything permanent, right?
Yeah.
A scar is okay. Permanent is permanent. And so killing off characters, I think that is a cardinal sin. And I think if you bring a character back, it has to be very meticulous in how you do that, and and achievable within the world in which we're talking about. And
has to be laid out ahead of time.
It can't be like you're doing it because of your fan base necessarily, right?
I have a story that I love that I still haven't written it because I can't get people on board with the idea, and it's bothering me because I love the idea where I have to kill a character like within the first act.
Really?
In order for the story to go on, but they cannot come back. Like, that's the rule. And every time that I mention it to someone, they're like, but we need the character to come. I'm like, no, I'm like, the concept is it's the same person.
Yeah.
But I'm like, the concept, this is the... every single time. So I'm like, I haven't written it yet because I need to really sell people on what it is because they don't seem to get what it is.
Yeah, but in the first act...
Is it...
That's crazy.
Can I ask a question about that? Well, so you said in the first act, this needs to happen.
Yeah.
But my question is, can you throw in an element that makes it more palatable for people to accept?
So I have tried to do that, by making the person who dies a literal villain,
Oh, that's
a
funny.
literal like evil doer. But they're still like, yeah, but if you've got like a movie star, we wouldn't want to see them go. I'm like, I haven't written it yet. I'm like, what are you talking about this for? Like,
Well, so another way is like, they're quick to change the face. Like a face-off moment, you know what I mean?
Oh my god!
Where you're intentionally writing, and it's like, no, this person literally died, and even if his soul died with this vessel, maybe the vessel was, reanimated into a different vessel. I don't know, but like adding technology, adding, some type of surgery, things like that, right? For them to get on board.
I'll tell you vaguely what the concept is. I'm just going to pitch you like what it is, right? And you'll understand when I say it.
All right.
Okay.
Gotcha.
It's Freaky Friday, but one of them dies in the wrong body.
Damn.
Oh, I like that.
That's the point.
Yeah.
But then when I tell people, they're like, yeah, but then where does the thing go? I'm like, well, I can tell you where it goes because it's a Bond movie.
Yeah, that's the tension.
But it's the spy is stuck in the villain's body, but like the spy body's dead, so they can't go back. So they're being hunted and the whole thing. And I tell them, and they're just like, I don't know if I'm like, no, it's a good idea. I'm like,
but I mean, isn't it face off? But one of them dies.
Yeah.
So they can't like
basically.
Yeah, they can't go. Yeah, I like that. It's permanent stakes.
Well,
it's a really simple premise, but every time I say it, people are like, oh no.
Can't do that.
Split the mind. Split the mind.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Or kill the mind off, or split the mind into two minds in one body. Split kill one mind off in one body, but there was already another mind in the said body, or however you want to flip that. Think about it like that, but like add the element that's paranormal or whatever. Add the element that's like still not yet relevant. Like I said, so back to Helm, I'm referencing Helm. In his mind, they tried to imprint him in a sense, but there was already two minds going on in there. So which mind did they imprint?
Yeah, and then that's another.
You see what I'm saying? So that was a really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. It's like, yeah, we've been the whole time we knew there's two minds in this head.
Yeah, so it opens up the curiosity loop as well for the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what it is.
Yeah.
So like, how many questions are surrounding this element you're trying to involve?
Well, do the thing, I encourage you, Jamie, to do what you want to do. Figure and take your time in how you explain how it got to be that point.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I think that's I need to
spice.
stop telling people what it is before I've written it, because whenever I do it, they always come at me with the same thing.
Oh, really?
They're always like, but when it, like if you were gonna sell it, like if it got made, like you've just cut out like a big member of your cast. I'm like, that character is a terrorist. Why do you want that character in the story?
He doesn't need to. Yeah, he doesn't need to hang around.
No,
and you made him unlikable.
It's like part of the reason I put it in like a Bond kind of story where she's a spy, but she's in the wrong body. And now like you have a bigger mastermind that's orchestrating the whole thing, and like you have the tension built in. Like you don't. That's just the vessel to get you into that.
You could sell that
situation.
You could definitely sell that.
I think it's really simple premise.
Yeah,
I don't think it's as complicated as people make it out to be.
You just got to finish it, like you said. That's it.
Yeah.
Because they can't understand it until you be like, this is a hit. If you can't see it, I'll go to the person who does see it.
They just want you to say you've got 10 seasons ready to go. That's what they want. You got 2 spin-off movies.
I want to tell you what I think, and then you can tell me what you think, and then we'll just keep doing that until we get to the right answer. That's how it should work.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, once we come to the right alignments, then we can talk about how much that costs.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You got to go in with 10 seasons, 2 movies.
I'll write my script, and I'll write another script that says, this is what you should say to me about how great this story is.
That's hilarious.
And you do that, and then you can read it.
Jamie, do the I got 2 briefcases, and if they answer right, you give them 1 briefcase. If they answer wrong, you give them the wrong briefcase. You know what I'm saying? I
deal
like that
or no
too.
Deal.
Consequences. You want to fuck me? Cool.
Deal or no deal.
I'll come with 14 briefcases. I'm like, you pick which one you want, and then we'll play.
Exactly.
We'll see how high you're gonna go.
See that
Russian roulette.
It's got legs. I think you could sell that easy.
I think it's a good idea. I have to write it.
But, well, yeah, there's always that part. But all right, so just to round up this trope,
I was about to say
again, what we've touched on mainly is it's about the experience. How do we get there? Whether it's foreshadowed or whether it's immediately known. like when they're the heir, like are they going to have a overwhelming sense of duty? How do you make the contrast? That's all we're saying. Neither answer's like, we've given examples for both, but it's more about the contrast. What questions can you create around? What circumstances can you create around the heir to make it more interesting, more tension, more dramatic?